I've activated the camera on the Droid 2 so you can see how easy it is to take a photo. You just long press the camera shutter button and it will automatically load the camera. Press the button halfway to focus on your subject. Press it all the way to take the photo. And one thing you got to watch out for is that the lens is quite close to the top of the phone, so it's easy to get your finger in the way there, you can see. Pulling up GPS information, so it'll give us a rough idea of where we're located, and mention the town inside the photos. I'm going to switch to video mode here. We'll shoot a quick video. This records DVD quality. This is 720 by 480 pixels, so it's not HD. So we'll move around a little bit just so you can see that it works. It's a decent quality video, just like I said, not HD. Then we can play it back. We'll jump into the photo gallery through the main menu. You'll see it nicely organizes everything, works in landscape and portrait mode. That one's a video. Still photo. And that little bit of blurring there, that's actually a couch in the shadow, so it's not anything wrong with the camera. You can see it's nice and crisp, very quick, multi-touch zooming on it. Really pretty impressive for a 5 megapixel camera. Of course, you always have options for uploading, sharing through email accounts and things like that. And speaking of email, here is the email client. Right now I have an aim.com email address set up. There's a sample message with some formatted text. You can see, color, bold, italics, all that kind of stuff works. And just a bit of random lorem ipsum Latin text in there just to show you how it works with a long message. You can, of course, go into landscape mode as well. Menu brings up some options like marking it unread, so you can go back. Long press on something, you can also change some options. It's easy to mark multiple messages here with the checkboxes, so you can do mass deletes. There's also a select all function. I'm going to do unselect all, and we're going to compose a new message. So you can just look up a contact by typing the name, Jack Black, for example. It's worth noting that you can configure all sorts of accounts. Basically any kind of POP or IMAP account, as well as Exchange, can be configured in this, and you can have multiple accounts in the email system. Gmail accounts have their own separate client, though, as we've seen. You might have noticed that whenever I tap on the screen, you see that little exploding box there. That allows you to position the cursor. It's really difficult to use, however. So I've got the beginning a test. I thought I had it. It's just difficult to control. I'm holding down the Shift key now to select. So you'll see if I tap here, grab it, hold Shift, I can select this bit of text. And now if I can manage to long press on it accurately, which I have not, then you would finally get the ability to copy, cut, and that kind of thing. It is an absolute pain in the ass to use. Without that D-pad that used to be on the original Droid, this copy and paste is almost useless. Just like on the Motorola Droid X, there's a nice suite of contact widgets in the MotoBlur style. They can be various sizes and can link to multiple items. You can link just to a phone number, just to an email address, and of course they work in landscape and portrait mode. So if, say I wanted to call Jack Black, a simple press of the button right there will call Jack Black, and you can see right here you can enable one-touch calling if you like. So here it places the call to Jack, but we're going to end that. Another thing I really like is that you can put a shortcut just to your favorite contacts. So these are ones that are starred basically. It also keeps track of some frequently called contacts that aren't starred. Full contact list is here. You can scroll through it. Of course, you can search with the keyboard. And you'll be able to see here that it pulls in contacts from multiple sources. This is coming in from Gmail and Facebook. There's Facebook information right there. You can also pull in contacts from Exchange, from Twitter, a number of different services. The device also offers the Backup Assistant application, which will back up your contacts to a Verizon server. But since everything can go through a Gmail account and stuff like that, I don't think too many people are actually going to be using this. Built-in instant messaging support seems to be limited to Google Talk. Here's a Google Talk message we've received. You'll notice on the soft keyboard we have some voice input options here. Here's a quick response just to show how voice input works. Pretty accurate. You can say it says here's a quick response to show out instead of how voice input works. Threaded, but not particularly colorful or obvious which message is coming from which, unless you can happen to see the faint shading of cyan, I guess, over the inbound messages. There is, of course, a lot of third-party instant messaging support available on the Android market. You'll notice that Skype Mobile is built in. Verizon supports Skype over its network now. But we're going to take a look at the social networking application. This shows combined view of all the social networking systems that you're signed into, in this case Facebook and Twitter. We don't have a MySpace account set up right now. You can filter by service, so show just Facebook updates or just Twitter updates. Retweet, favorite options. Add a comment or like it. And of course you can always add your own status, and you can have that set to go to all of the services or just one of the services. You take a look up in the notification area here, you can see we've got a new voicemail. This will pull up the visual voicemail application. We received a message from ourselves. This is basically just a test. I'm going to turn on the speaker and then play the message.
This is a test voicemail message sent to the Motorola Droid 2 from the Motorola Droid 2.
It's convenient, the visual voicemail system, so you can just quickly go through your messages, decide which ones to listen to now, which ones not to. You can play them over and over again and easily forward them. Here's the music player in the Droid 2. It's nothing particularly special. Simple controls. Everything's organized by artist, album, of course songs and playlists. You can always get back easily to the now playing system, but there's no connected features like we saw on the Click XT or anything really fancy like that. You will notice that you have access to the songs just by going to the notification area. Plays in the background. And there's still some controls on the lock screen. Even though the device is still locked, you can still control what's going on. One of the more highly sought after functions on the Droid 2 is the 3G mobile hotspot function. It allows you to turn your phone into a mobile Wi-Fi access point so other devices can connect to it and make use of the phone's 3G data connection. The service, however, costs an additional $20 per month. The Droid 2 comes preloaded with a copy of Need for Speed Shift, so I thought I'd give you a quick demonstration of that. I'm in the application area of the settings. You can see that it allows apps from unknown sources, meaning non-market applications. This is something you don't find on the AT&T devices. I'll show you some of the new Froyo updates. You can quickly see a list of all the downloaded applications. You'll also notice that there are applications that can be installed onto the SD card, and all it takes is a quick press of the button to move it back and forth from the phone to the SD card. Not all applications, however, support that feature. For example, if we go into the Flash plugin, you can see that the move to SD card function doesn't work, but a lot of new applications are adding this functionality, which takes some of the burden off the internal storage on the phone. This is the Data Manager section of settings. It allows you to control what happens with data when you're roaming and applications running in the background and things like that. It just gives you a little bit more control over when your device is going to be using data and potentially battery power as a result. So that concludes my look at the Motorola Droid 2 for Verizon Wireless. It's a big device, weighs about 174 grams, and it's a full 14.5 millimeters thick. Very much like the original Droid. It just features an updated operating system with some new UI features that you would see on the Droid X and not on the upgraded Froyo Droid. It also has a much faster processor, but the same basic camera and a lot of the same basic feel. You lose the D-pad, which a lot of people hated, I have to admit, and you get a slightly wider keyboard. I think I would have kept the D-pad, though. I imagine I'm probably in the minority for that, though. Just like the original, though, still a very, very solid device. And if you want a keyboard on a fast, 1 gigahertz Android smartphone, then this is one of the few options you have. So it's on sale now for $199.99 with a 2-year contract. Again, it's the Motorola Droid 2 for Verizon Wireless, and I'm Michael Orrell for MobileBurn.com.